has been
Afterward, we followed the Platts as they walked their middle schooler to class. As a 4.0 student, this was a big day for Madeline, who had 2 tests today.
I just want to get the best education I can get without being interrupted in schools, because I feel like the mask, I feel like I can't breathe with them on. I get headaches in school.
So, Jamal, the students here, let me tell you something. Craziness. The students here were separated. This seems to be a very big problem that's going to be happening across the country right now, which is students being forced to wear a mask and also be vaccinated. What do you think about this here, sir?
I'm going to tell you what they just did to you, Jermain. I'm going to tell you what they just did to you real quick. If you go to YouTube done put a box around you and it says U.S. elections, robust safeguards help ensure the integrity of election results. I just hit the print screen. That's what they have right now on you on Facebook. Okay, let me say this because this is on YouTube. The governor of Virginia, there we go. The governor of Virginia wrote an executive order. The executive order says that he is ending the mask mandates. If a parent wants to send their child to school with a mask, they have the right to do so.
They certainly do.
However, the schools can no longer force children to wear them. That's what the executive order, the governor, Glenn Youngkin, did. He fulfilled his campaign promise. Liberals and Democrats in certain counties are wanting to defy the governor because they're radical teacher unions. They're radical liberals. Okay? They are radicals. They want this takeover of your rights. They want you. Notice how when the governor says, he puts a mask mandate in Virginia, the last one, Governor Clan Norton, Ralph Norton, Clan. When Governor Ralph Clan Norton put in a mandate, they was wanting to follow it. Yeah. But soon, as a new governor come in, they don't like. Now they don't want to do the mandate. Now they don't want to listen to his executive order. And this is playing politics with children. No way, no how should they be putting a child, segregating a child, because it says you have to give a child, equal, 14th Amendment, you have to give them, equal access and everything. But this is crazy, and a parent needs to sue. And here's the thing about suing, Jermain. I'm gonna not shut up after I say this. When you sue that school board, you're actually in some ways suing yourself, because that's your tax money that you're suing the county that you live in.
That's true.
So they're screwing you one way and screwing you another. And but parents need to fight back, and they need to fight back like never before. Let these liberals know you can't have our children.
They do. And that's the main reason why you had the AG trying to go after parents, is because they understand that if parents galvanize in this country, they can make a difference. If parents got together and said, you know what, these people really don't have any power. I don't know what we having a bad reception. I don't even know what's going on. Let me tell you, I don't know. But that's what it is. Hit that like button. Make sure you share. Next one up. See if we can get. I don't know what's going on. We just been having bad connection all night for some reason. Bad. I'm talking about bad connection all night tonight. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, because I'm looking because mine's is hard. Mine's is hardwired. I'm literally connected to the.
I'm hardwired too. Bad connection. Now you're looking good again. I don't know. Maybe I got to restart my computer.
You may have to.
Yeah. How you looking right now though? Right now you're looking good on the web.
See, that's how it starts off. It start off, I'm looking good. Then it'll just go back down. But okay, let's roll.
I mean,
yeah, because
shoot. I mean, you're looking good right now.
I mean, I look better than
shoot.
Better than normal. Thank you for coming to Slay the Line on Jamal.
Yeah, I mean,
I know I look good.
Yeah. See, I don't know. Yeah, but you looking good. You looking better now. I don't know, Jamal. Weird. It's weird. Hit that like button. Make sure you share. Usually we haven't had bad connection for a very long time.
Yeah,
Jamal. I mean, shoot. Last time we had a bad connection, Trump was in office.
Yeah, I mean, it's crashing everything. I mean, every time you turn around, we're crashing.
Yeah. But that's what it looked like. We're good now, though. Next one up here. Hit that like button. Make sure you share. I want to speak about Nancy. Go to El Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi, ladies and gentlemen, is running again. Running back to Congress. She wants that bread. That bread. Right now, they're trying to put out some sort of what do you call that? Insider trading bill because
Campaign.
Nancy Pelosi and them folks were getting to the moolah and not telling anybody. I want to go ahead and run this very, very, very short clip, and when it come back, I want to speak about it. Nancy Pelosi wants your vote if you're in California. She does. Take a look. Here we go.
Hello, it's Nancy. Thank you for the opportunity to share some thoughts with you, our VIPs, our volunteers in politics, in our ongoing engagement for the people. Thank you for being a constant source of new, fresh ideas and political activism to help Democrats deliver and to defend democracy. Thank you for giving me the privilege to represent our city and our San Francisco values in the Congress. Human rights, reproductive justice, LGBTQ equality, respect for immigrants, and care for each other. When people ask me what are the three most important issues facing the Congress, I always say the same thing. Our children, our children, our children. Their health, their education, the housing and economic security of their families, a clean, safe environment in which they can thrive, and a world at peace and where they are all welcome and in which they can reach their fulfillment. That is my why I am in Congress, for the children. This is my story and this is my song. As you hear me say, when you're in the arena, you have to be able to take a punch or throw a punch for the children. In terms of health, my first words on the floor of the House were to fight against HIV/AIDS, to fight the disease and discrimination. Working together, we passed the Affordable Care Act, strengthened Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, lowered prescription drug prices, and now are fighting COVID with equity. In San Francisco, the climate is not an issue.
So
it is an ethic.
I'm going to stop it right
Education,
here. So
the economy,
Nancy Pelosi, I can't go ahead and look at Nancy Pelosi. Her mouth is gumming right now. Let me go ahead and show folks what Jamal's doing. Go ahead, Jamal. Show them the gumming.
Okay. And man, have you like it? Because I have a lot more ice cream to buy. And I like my money. Forget. Ha. Ha. Ah. Nothing. I'm running again. I'm like nothing. Nothing like that.
Gumming. That's exactly what she was doing. That mouth was gumming, ladies and gentlemen. Nancy Pelosi, her eyebrows are crazy. Tucker Carlson did a bit where he showed her eyebrows.
Michael Jackson.
And let me tell you, I was one of the first ones since last year speaking about these women eyebrows. I spoke about Kamala Harris eyebrows. I spoke about Nancy Pelosi. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, I called them ski slope eyebrows. Remember that? Look.
Drawn on.
Yeah, I mean, her eyebrows are getting the roll on. I think that her eyebrows are steeper than the Himalayan mountains. You get what I'm saying? And that's a steep climb. Them eyebrows, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. If they ain't running for the border, I don't know what is. You understand? Them eyebrows are outrageous. Just like her policies and her rhetoric. I believe that she will probably get in once more again. The people who vote for Nancy Pelosi, they love her. Yeah. They love her antics. They love the stuff that she says, the crazy stuff that she does. I mean, you can't get around. It's crazy California. These people went and voted, what's that stupid man's name? Gavin Newsom back in. With all the crime and the nonsense going on, they went and voted him back in during the recall. You just can't make this stuff up. So, will she get in? I believe so. What do you think, Jamal?
You want to stop Nancy Pelosi? You want to break her down? Give her a peanut butter sandwich. And make lying. Sure, look, and then make sure she ain't got no water to drink it down. You see, and that's it. You want to defeat Nancy Pelosi. Be like, all right, Miss Nancy, I got you your breakfast. Since you like ice cream so much, mix a whole bunch of peanut butter in there. And as soon as she take that spoonful, you put it in her mouth. GB, you done took down Nancy. Then you be like, people like, what's going on? Because that peanut butter gonna lock her jaws. Gonna lock them jaws.
She gonna need Polydent.
You lock that peanut butter on them dentures. You somebody got dentures, and you just take a big old thing. Don't get crunchy peanut butter. Crunchy gonna break loose. Take that good old thing of Jiffy, not creamy, but just old peanut butter, and put it in there. Be like, Nancy, I got your breakfast, Miss Pelosi. I got your breakfast. And we say, thank you. Cause that peanut butter gonna stick her mouth right now.
I'm telling you,
she gonna be gone. But they gonna vote for her. Why? Because she's liberal Democrat trash. They want her, and the people and the trash and the hobos and the crime, if they ain't complained yet, the people around who are living around her now ain't complaining about the hobos, the trash, and the bums. Now they never will.
Nope, they will never. They will never. I want to go ahead and show the crowd this here real quick. I think the crowd gonna really take this. I want you guys to take a look at this here. I went and zoomed up on Nancy Pelosi's eyebrow. Look at how her eyebrows are going off the Richter scale. Look at this. Her eyebrows are off the Richter scale. This is Nancy Pelosi, her evolution of eyebrows. Off the gosh darn Richter scale, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, how much makeup they're going? How much Mary? Who is her Mary Kay provider? Because they getting paid.
I'm telling you, look at this one.
Provider?
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, look at this one. Nancy Pelosi, you deserve to be locked up for these eyebrows. These eyebrows are out of control. Come on. Somebody in the White House need to be fired, Jamal. This ain't even right. Eyebrows like this. Come on. Eyebrows worse than Coretta DeVille stealing them dogs.
Oh my God! You know what? Now I can say now. There you go. She looked like she chasing 100. Oh my goodness! She looked like she chasing 101 Dalmatians.
Eyebrows look like, ladies and gentlemen, boomerangs. Like they about to come back. That's how crazy they look. Look at this one. Let me zoom in on this one too. Look how crazy this one look. I'm telling you, eyebrow city. Ladies and gentlemen, this one is just the worst. That one's just the worst. My goodness gracious. All right, well, I wanted to show people that, you know. Eyebrows are out of control, ladies and gentlemen, just like her policies, right? Her policies are out of control, just like her eyebrows. You know, Nancy Pelosi, in my humble opinion, once more again, she will get in because the people who vote for her like that voted for Gavin Newsom.
Yep.
You just can't get around it. And these people will reap what they sow. They certainly will. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share next one up. Brother, I want to speak about Biden, Mr. Magoo. Mr. Magoo. Apparently, he's trying to get some balls underneath him. He's trying to act like he's tough a little bit. He called Peter Doocy from Fox News a son of a bitch, a SOB. Now, when Trump called a reporter a SOB, right? He called him a SOB. He didn't say son of a. He didn't say the whole phrase. He called him a SOB. The news acted silly. This is beneath the president, all this other stuff. He's a petulant child. You know, all the nasty talk that they do. Let me tell you something. That's exactly what they were pushing out. And when it comes down to Biden, I mean, these people were acting like it was warranted. Absolutely.
Yep.
I want to go ahead and we will first play the clip. All right, we'll play the clip first. I'll let you guys take a look at it. I'll get Jamal's reaction, and then we'll go to the news and the way they presented this and the way they act towards it. Will it be the same energy? You get what I'm saying? Will it be, hey, you know what? This is beneath a president. You know, we can't have a child for a president and all this. Will it be that? Or will it be, you know, hey, you know, Peter Doocy and Fox News deserve it? Would it be one of them? We shall see. Hit that like button. Make sure you share. Shout out to Lisa Christensen. Says, oh, please, someone make her as Coretta DeVille. Please, please. When I look at Nancy Pelosi with them crazy ass eyebrows, I mean, eyebrows are out of control. She looked like Coretta DeVille. She looked like she's out there trying to steal puppies for a brand new coat. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to hide your puppies when you're around her. Somebody need to do some investigation. She probably got a puppy farm stealing and killing puppies. Here we go. Make sure you share.
That's a great asset. More inflation. What a stupid son of a bitch.
What a stupid son of a bitch. Let me go ahead and play that again. I want to play it again here.
Do you think inflation is a political liability?
That's a great asset. More inflation. What a stupid son of a bitch.
What a stupid son of a bitch. This is what he said. What a stupid son of a bitch. This is coming from Mr. Magoo, who doesn't know, most of the time what day it is or where he's at. This is coming from Mr. Magoo. Peter Doocy is asking a legitimate question. As a matter of fact, it's not outrageous. It's a regular gosh darn question. It is regular. Nothing outrageous about the question. It's just that he doesn't like the question. He knows that it's making him look bad. So he calls him a son of a bitch. Jamal, what do you think about this? He calls him a son of a bitch because he's asking if this inflation deal that is going on, is it political? I mean, gosh darn it, ain't that a regular question? I mean, it's a feasible, reasonable, pragmatic question, isn't it?
My comment was this when I heard it. The only dumb, stupid son of a bitch is the ones that voted for him.
There you go.
Because you
Beautiful.
was told, people crying about it. Oh, inflation. We was told about this. People was told about this. People knew exactly who he was. People knew who Biden was, but so many people just couldn't deal with Trump tweets. Oh, well, no, I can't deal with Trump tweets. Now, you have no more mean tweets. And your grocery store don't have meat. And your gas prices are to the sky.
Through the roof.
And the rent is too damn high. So people sitting up here and they crying and now they complaining. But Joe Biden, he was mad that somebody questioned him and went outside the norm. So basically, what Joe Biden has admitted unconsciously is that, news reporters are doing what they are told, not following the news. Because, you're at a press conference and the press are only allowed to ask you certain questions ahead of time and you told them that. And the press is okay with that? I love President Trump. You know I do. Support President Trump. But if he gets back in office, he better treat the media worse than what he ever treated them. He better have, don't get the Secret Service. Get some niggas who some bouncers. Niggas got 2-3 felonies.
Absolutely.
That knowing the club job is the only job they can work for the next 10 years before they can even get a somewhat decent job. And have them throw those reports. Jim Acosta, grab him by his throat. Then grab him out of the back of his pants and throw him out. Because these reporters have shown you when they are Democrats. Number one, reporters are Democrats. Number one. Number two, if they support you, they will kowtow to you. That's why Joe Biden was mad at Peter Doocy, because Peter Doocy didn't ask the question that was considered okay. That's why people want to talk about Russia. What about Russia and Ukraine? Which we're gonna talk about later. But Peter Doocy talking about that money, that inflation that's rising and killing people. But remember, Jan Psaki said, just get you a martini and go take some kickboxing. How? Martinis are high. Kickboxing, that's high.
She did say that, Jamal. She certainly did. Jen Psaki said folks should go and drink a margarita. This is what she said with inflation.
Yep.
She's an evil woman.
The evil woman.
Let me tell you, evil woman with red hair. Now, with all this going on here and him calling Peter Doocy a son of a bitch, apparently he called Peter Doocy and apologized. Okay.
No, that was not an apology.
Yeah. Apparently, this is what they're saying. Now, I'm not privy to the phone call. I don't think the phone call was recorded, but this is what is being told. Now, I want to go ahead and run CNN. CNN spoke about this. They had Brian Stelter on there. Breonna Keeler. I don't know why I call him Brian, but Breonna Keeler, and another host on there who's retarded. And they speak about what Mr. Magoo said. I want you guys to take a look at what Brian Stelter is saying here, all right? I want you guys to take a look at the mannerisms, the way that they're speaking about it. In my personal opinion, they are giving reason to why Biden is doing this, and they're almost, in a sense, saying that this is warranted. I want you guys to take a look at it when it come back. I want to speak about this because this is very important. This shows people that there is false compassion in the world that is being put out. One thing I speak about on this show is false compassion and emotion. Because in our world nowadays, emotion is being used against folks, all right? Our population right now is emotionally centered, all right? We used to be a more logical population. But because of this single mama epidemic, this getting men out of the household, this new family court nonsense that's been going on for a very long time, our population has shifted in terms of mentality, okay? We are more geared towards femininity. They know this. I want people to understand. And based upon this shift that is going on, these folks are able to use false compassion to swindle the population, right? And for people who don't know what false compassion is, it's very simple. Let me tell you what it is. It's appearing to care when you don't care. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, it's appearing to care when you don't care. Oh my goodness, I can't believe you said that. Right? That's false compassion. They really don't really don't care about it, but they know that most of the population will fall for that trick. Take a look at this. Here we go.
The big sort of media story is Joe Biden being caught on a hot mic saying this to a reporter who is from Fox and was asking about inflation. Let's listen.
Will you take questions on inflation then?
Thank you. Thank you
Do you
all.
think inflation is a political liability?
That's a great asset. More inflation. What a stupid son of a bitch.
Little context, Brian Stelter, right? Mr. Doocy there is sort of a thorn in the side often of Jen Psaki, of President Biden. In the end, though, the president called him to apologize. And look, Doocy kind of handled it. He sort of laughed it off and right. Said this had happened. What did you make of that?
Well, certainly you see the smile on Biden's face. I don't think he's surprised this was caught on mic. I think he knows what he was doing. But no matter who the president is, whether it was Donald Trump saying Chuck Todd was an SOB, or whether it's President Biden saying Peter Doocy is an SOB, it's wrong no matter what. The easiest thing to do in life is to be consistent, regardless of party, regardless of president, and just recognize when something is wrong, recognize that presidents should be held to the highest standards. And so in this case, Biden was out of line. I think he knew it because he called Doocy right away to say sorry and try to put it as water under the bridge. It's also not the biggest story in the world, though, right? That's why I'm glad he didn't lead with it. It's not the most important thing in the world. We know Fox is going to milk it as if it is the most important thing in the world. It's one of these minor, interesting moments that shows how the president really feels. And by the way, that is newsworthy. I think it is newsworthy when you hear the president and you feel how he actually is thinking about Fox. The bigger issue here, Brianna, I think, which you get at a lot, which is how should Fox be treated and handled at this time in American life? Fox is not what it was 20 years ago. It's not what it was when Peter Doocy's dad, Steve, started at Fox. The network is much more hardcore, extreme, and radicalized. Having a White House correspondent is different now than it was 20 years ago. So the Clinton White House had to make choices about how to handle Fox. The Biden White House has to make choices too. And they've mostly chosen to play footsie with Fox, appear on Fox sometimes, to take questions from Doocy. I think a lot of Democrats would like to see the White House do something very different and treat Fox more aggressively. And so I think that's why a lot of people were cheering for Biden yesterday on Twitter. Lots of liberals were cheering for Biden when he called Doocy an SOB, even though to me it's beneath the presidency.
Look, there are a lot of winners here, right? Biden gets to stay.
Right.
He stood up to Fox.
Yeah,
Doocy gets the publicity of the interaction with the president. Doocy also, I do think, handled it well. I mean, Doocy himself is not making it seem like it's the biggest thing.
And let me go ahead and stop it right here. So you see what they're doing. They're trying to downplay this thing here, Jamal. They're saying, this is not the biggest thing in the world here. I mean, this is just a small snippet in time here, it's a memorable moment for the president, and the president is, showing us how to, really treat Fox. Is this the way that, we should be moving forward, treating Fox News and these outlets that put out fake news? So now you can see that CNN is now twisting the fake news narrative. Now Fox News own Newsmax. These people are fake news to CNN. And they're basically giving an excuse to Biden that, hey, these people aren't very good for our country, and it's, might be okay for him to speak like this towards these folks. What do you think about this here?
Well, it goes to show you the hypocrisy, simple and plain, because what they said was, Fox News isn't what it used to be 20
there you
years
go.
ago. Hold it. 20 years ago when Steve Doocy had it, you had Bill O'Reilly. They were actually more to the right 20 years ago than they were now. Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Fox News would have never called Arizona. Fox News would have never called Arizona like they did 20 years ago. 20 years ago, Chris Wallace walked the thin chalk line. See, when you had Robert Ailes actually running it, no, he made sure Fox News was a place for conservatives. Joe Biden has always been a fraud. He's a plagiarist. And when he sat there and he called Peter Doocy that, and everybody's laughing about it, that goes to show, like I've always said about Republicans, they do it to us, do it back. This high road stuff, we're going to take the high road. We're going to take the high road. We're going to take the high road. And you got Mark, and you got old blubber butt over there. We want, being Fox News. And being that is Fox News, Fox News has set themselves up to be, extreme and radical. Well, thank you. Now we know when President Trump get back in how to treat Jim Acosta.
Yep.
Get them bouncers and throw that nigga out of the you remember
Jim Acosta,
Fresh
nigga
Prince?
too. Don't you worry, Jamal.
You remember the Fresh Prince? You remember every time Phil used to throw Jazz out the door?
Hell
That's
yeah.
what they need to show Jim Acosta for lying outside the door.
Yeah,
just
throw
like
that nigga out. absolutely. Some of these white folks here are acting like niggas too. White people can be niggas too. My audience knows that. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Brian Stelter, Jim Acosta, the rest of these folks here are acting like the niggas that we speak about a lot of the times on this program. These folks here, ladies and gentlemen, they're all about the narrative. That's what they're about. That's it. Now, I have another one here I want to show you as well. And you guys will see the way they speak about what Biden did. I want you guys to just take a look. Now, this one's even worse because they don't even say that it's, not a good thing for him to say it. They just report on it as if it's, condoned and it's normal. I want you guys to take a look at this. ABC speaking about the incident. Take a look.
And Kelly, the president making headlines tonight also about a hot mic moment where he's cursing at a Fox News reporter. Let me play that.
Thank you, guys.
Will you take questions on inflation then?
Let's move. Thank you. Thank you all.
Do you think inflation is a political liability?
That's a great asset. More inflation. What a stupid son of a bitch.
Kelly, what is the White House saying about this tonight?
Well, we have not heard back from the White House. We have asked about this. Reporters were asking about Ukraine because the president has not responded yet about whether he has decided to deploy U.S. troops. Clearly, that's a critical issue, and reporters will ask about it. He made the point that he does not like when questions are asked about a subject other than the planned event, which in this case was about middle-class families and the economy.
There you go. So even these CNBC reporters, they acted like this was normal. Biden doesn't like questions that are not unplanned. I mean, this is the way that they're talking. So it wasn't that he's beneath the presidency. It wasn't that, hey, the things that he's saying is not good to be saying as a president. It's not that he's a child. None of the talk that you heard when President Trump was in office. But you're hearing, ladies and gentlemen, you're hearing an excuse. And she gave the excuse. Well, Biden doesn't like unplanned questions. Jamal, last words on that. Unplanned questions. She gave the excuse like, hey, what do you expect? Biden doesn't like unplanned questions.
That goes to show you that the media is complacent to the Democrat Party.
There you go.
If you listen to how they sound about Democrats losing, they sound like their heart has been hurt.
Yep. Crying and everything.
It's hard for me because Donald Trump won, and I have some friends of mine in the military. Remember her? Oh, then when Glenn Youngkin won in Virginia tonight.
Oh yeah, yep.
Is a night the white supremacy came back in Virginia. I always knew it was gonna come back. Yes, it did. That's how they acted. When Republicans win, they sit there and they cry, they boo-hoo, act like it's the end of the world. But when Democrats win, yes, democracy wins, democracy wins, democracy wins, democracy wins. Yes, good time. And that's wrong. And that's why people don't trust them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You ain't lying about that. And the fact that CNN lost, a good portion of their audience, their ratings are down, down. I mean, lower than some horse skirts on, on Lake Street right now. The ratings are very low, very low. It's a big deal, big deal. Now, moving forward here, I want to speak about our last topic, and it deals with Russia. Biden says that risk of Russia invading Ukraine is like reading tea leaves. It really boils down to Putin's decision. Now, for people out there who don't know, Ukraine right now is on the verge of being annexed, really. There's a lot of political theater going on. Putin says that the West, basically, us, we are overreacting. Okay, this is what Putin is saying. Now, Biden is trying to act like he's tough, right? Saying that he's going to give Russia some sanctions. There has been some EU countries to, sign on, but not all of them, especially Germany, because Germany is heavily reliant on oil from Russia. The sanctions that they are putting on is, not going to do very much. And the U.S. right now, per Biden, they want to send 8,500 troops to the, outskirts of the Ukraine. 8,500. Now, I want people to understand something here. Biden, the Democratic regime, said that they were pulling out of Afghanistan because we should not be fighting their war. This is exactly what he said. He said that too many American lives have been lost. Right? America is done. And now he's getting ready to send 8,500 troops to the outskirts of Ukraine. There's something going on. I want to go ahead and run this when it come back. I want to get you guys' take on this. Is this a distraction? Right now, Biden's America is on hellfire. Crime through the roof. Inflation through the roof. Broken immigration system, ladies and gentlemen. He can't even control Omicron or Deltacron or Deltacron or Ulu or whatever the next one is. He can't do nothing. Right? Look at the employment rate. Mandate, ladies and gentlemen, hell. And now 8,500. Is this a distraction? Here we go. Make sure you share.
Can you tell me whether you think, sir, that the risk of an invasion is increasing or decreasing or steady just as it has been these recent days?
I'll be completely honest with you. It's a little bit like reading tea leaves. Ordinarily, if we're a different leader, the fact that he continues to build forces along Ukraine's border from Belarus all the way around, you'd say, well, that means that he is looking like he's going to do something. But then you look at what his past behavior is and what everyone is saying, and his team as well as everyone else, as to what is likely to happen. It all comes down to his decision. Look, let me conclude by saying there will be enormous consequences if he were to go in and invade, as he could, the entire country.
Enormous consequences. So, Jamal, he's saying that there will be enormous consequences if this would happen. Now, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to two folks here. Iowa Hawkeyes 123 says, I enjoy the 2 J's. You guys are good. And I want to go ahead and give a shout out to Lola TX. Says Rumble Misfits love J and J. Absolutely. Shout out. So, brother. It's getting down to business right now. It really is. It's getting down to business. We have an issue here. Biden is trying to act tough. Somehow he believes that Russia is going to listen to him. We have China that is invading the seas all across the world right now. The eastern, southern sea, China's there. They've taken that area over. I mean, it is serious, real aggression going on. What do you think?
Okay, here's the thing, and I talked about this the night before and last night. Funny how Joe Biden wants to secure Ukraine borders, but not ours. Funny how he can send troops to Ukraine, but not to Texas, Arizona, and California, those on the border with Mexico. Joe Biden, and he's not even sending them to the Ukraine. He's sending them to other nations because people can tell nobody wants a war with Russia. Nobody wants that, because if they launch an attack on Russia, Russia will sit there and bring in all their forces, all their units, and they won't stop till they hit Germany. And all of it will be the USSR again. And that's what he's trying to do to provoke them. Because remember, at the end of the day, Russia has nuclear missiles.
They do.
They are a nuclear nation. And Jermain, you being in the military like me, veterans, why are we in Europe fighting for their borders, but not fighting for our own? Why is Joe Biden, trying to go over to Ukraine? Because notice, he really wasn't going to let Ukraine. But what do Ukraine know about Hunter Biden that they said, hey, we're going to turn this over and you better do something before this paperwork to Hunter Biden go? Because it sounded like to me he wanted Russia to go in to cover up the tracks. They done got all the money they want from those oligarchs and all those people over there. And so, hey, Russia, you go in and take it over. Republicans get back in office. They can't subpoena Ukraine documents.
Nope.
See, you forgot Rudy Giuliani still have documents from Ukraine. He said, hey, Hunter Biden did these things. Hunter Biden is tied in. Now they can investigate.
That's true.
So if Russia takes Ukraine, Russia ain't gonna get. If Russia give, it's a lose for Republicans if Russia takes Ukraine, because then if they get any paperwork from Russia, people gonna say, oh, you got it from Russia, so this is false information. So Ukraine is like, okay, but if you don't defend us, we gonna get out of town with some documents, and some people who fled gonna testify against you in Congress. So Joe Biden is really trapped in. And NATO we're gonna stand up. NATO is hoping the United States back them.
Yep.
NATO is hoping the U.S. put the troops and the gunpowder and all that. Because here's the thing, Jermain. If our weaponry kill Russian soldiers, this ain't Donald Trump, who they knew, okay, his own media hates him. His own media think he gonna do something stupid, like may launch a nuke. So we ain't gonna mess with him. But Joe Biden is gonna bend over. He ain't gonna bend over. He got others that bend over so they can cover for Hunter Biden and getting all that money and Joe Biden brother.
Man, brother, you ain't lying about that. I can tell you that. You ain't lying about that. We're not, a lot of what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, is political theater. The fact that Biden wants to send 8,500 troops to the Ukraine border, and he doesn't even want to send troops to our border, should let you know something. should let you know something right away, that what's happening at the border is planned and it's criminal. I want you to understand it's planned and it's criminal. This is a huge distraction. A huge distraction right now.
Mm-hmm.
The American public is not going to be for any war or any coalition type talk. They're not going to be for it. Especially with the boondoggle of Afghanistan. They're just not going to be for it. If you speak to most Americans, they don't care about what's going on in the Ukraine. When you have a mandate on you, mandates that are hurting folks, when you're having folks in this country who are having a hard time, ladies and gentlemen, getting care, they don't care about the Ukraine. Ask me if I care about the Ukraine. I don't.
No.
And as Americans, we can understand that the sympathy of them, in a sense, try to, be sovereign, right? Having their own country. We can understand the sympathy of it. We can empathize with that. But we have to be realistic here. We're not in position to be throwing our military out there. First of all, I don't care how many troops it is. Not even one. I don't believe should be going over there. Second of all, when it comes down to the Ukraine, I've said this for a very long time. If you cannot protect your own country, you have a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, how dumb do we look to be going? And we're not the world's police. I want folks to understand we're not the world's police, first of all. And second of all, the morality factor isn't there. And I want Americans to wake up. Running to the Ukraine acting as if we're moral, it's a joke. When Rwanda was happening, right, and there was mass genocide in Africa, where was the U.S.? Nowhere to be found. As a matter of fact, they turned a blind eye. In the Congo, when they were killing through the roof. Boko Haram in Nigeria. Where was the U.S.?
Actually, Trump actually took on Boko Haram. It was Barack Obama who, when they went in and kidnapped those girls, who sat up there.
There are 300 girls, right?
Song that said, bring our girls back. But Donald Trump, hold on, President Trump did send special forces to take on Boko Haram. He was fighting, trying to get some of the genocide stopped. Now, in 1992, when Somalia was doing what they doing with Ilhan Omar, and that's how she came to America.
Mogadishu, I know that one.
Okay, so we did. Now, America, yes, morally, yes, we are. We are more, how do I put it? Morally,
brother, you done stopped me from talking. Go ahead.
Morally,
I'm going to let you go.
Morally, we still have the obligation. We have to. But we should have been did it, and we can't do it with our leaders this week. If Donald Trump was president, I said if, YouTube, so don't take him down. YouTube, I said if Donald Trump was president, they wouldn't be doing this right now. Because they knew when Donald Trump sent them Stinger missiles and other heavy artillery and said, you better defend yourself. America ain't gonna help you. Russia backed up. Joe Biden ain't been in office 1 year. Not 1 year. And look what we got. I didn't mean it. Please forgive me, Jermain, for interrupting you. I do apologize for that. I do apologize.
Absolutely.
My bad.
Now,
please forgive me.
Absolutely. Getting back to it here. Now, Boko Haram is still over there. Getting back to it now. When it comes down to a lot of these, these overseas international issues, a lot of these international issues, we don't step in. The only time we step in is if it's a national interest for us. When it came down to even what was going on in Somalia, right? And we went in there, it was a national interest for us. A lot of the stuff that we do is deemed a national interest. So when I speak like this, when I speak about these certain things, I'm speaking about the morality issue there. Because we pick and choose to go to these certain places because it's a national interest for us. Just like when it came down to, going after Hitler. Going after Hitler was a big time national interest for us. And while we were over there, what did we do? We went and grabbed Nazi scientists. Operation Paperclip. Nobody speaks about this, right? If the Nazi scientists were so bad, if Nazis were so evil, why would we grab their scientists and bring them over here and lie to our public about it? So these things that we do in our country, a lot of it has to deal with national interests, and it has to deal with, in a sense, elite interest. Do you understand? So when we're in the Ukraine and we're doing things of this nature, it's not in our best interest right now for us to be there. It's not. But for Mr. Magoo, it is. Because he can get the media speaking about this and getting off his tail about inflation, about crime, about immigration, about every stinking thing that is plaguing our country. Last words here, Jamal. Go ahead.
Okay. One thing. Hitler came after us. We didn't declare war on Germany. Germany declared war on us. In 1941, when Franklin Delano Roosevelt did his speech, Hitler in his brilliance went down and declared war on the United States of America. We didn't mess with it. We was doing the land lease and giving England World War I destroyers, tanks, and stuff like that to fight because the public did not want to go into Europe. However, the scientists who were escaping, the Jewish scientists who was coming over here saying, hey, that's danger. He's crazy because the people who was going to create a bomb.
Have you heard of Operation Paperclip before?
Yes. Oh yeah, okay. That's what I'm getting into. That's why, like their jet fighters, the V8 bombs, all that. Yeah, we were fighting for the scientists. Us and the Soviet Union was fighting for the scientists because we knew Germany was technically more advanced than we were, especially with weaponry. Also,
the German scientists killed a lot of Jewish folks and a lot of people.
You're talking about Joseph Mengele.
I'm not speaking about just Joseph Mengele. I mean, if you read Operation Paperclip, you'd find out that there's a lot of the Nazi scientists that were there that were out there killing folks.
In concentration camps. Some of them were, yes.
Yeah.
Like I said, the research we did in the outer space is Joseph Mengele's research. That's his research. Because Germany was trying to get somebody into space, and he was doing it a long time ago. Now, when Patton came on, when Patton made it to Berlin and all of them was there, Patton wanted to rearm the Germans and push the Russians back. If we would have listened to Patton, we would have never had a Cold War. Because Patton was going to push Joseph Stalin and the whole Soviet Union back. He was going to give them an ultimatum, get out of the East, and he was going to rearm the Germans and attack. So we're dealing with, so this thing with Russia is still dealing with World War II, bad decisions we made in World War II. But yes, Operation Paperclip and us getting Nazi German scientists, yes, that is true. We was trying to get those scientists. Some of them, yes. Some of them were doing illegal
absolutely. And once you speak about freeing the Jews, the Russians did most of the freeing of the Jews.
And
yeah, you see where I'm talking about morality
and
here.
The Russians murdered a lot more of the Jews too. A lot of people talk about Hitler.
Go ahead.
But Joseph Stalin was Adolf Hitler was the bad guy we all agreed on. Yes, Adolf Hitler was evil, true. But Joseph Stalin was killing and executing Jews just like Hitler. But he was just starving them to death and shooting them because he was scared of anybody who believed in something that said Stalin was not the greatest. So the Jews were a threat to him. He killed Poles. Joseph Stalin executed so many Poles, it was Polish soldiers, because he wanted to institute communism. So what we did in World War II, we made who was an enemy, because if it wasn't for Russia, the Soviet Union, and Joseph Stalin, Hitler would have never had the cover to invade Poland, because they signed the Russo-German Pact.
And if it wasn't for Russia too, we wouldn't have finished the war. So Russia, regardless, Russia was a very big part of the war, because regardless, if we didn't have Russia, we would have lost the war too. This is not being even told. Russia played a very big part.
Actually, if it wasn't for Russia, if Hitler had never opened up a and did Operation Barbarossa in 1940, when he did Operation Barbarossa, if he would have listened to Hans Guderian and listened to Erwin Rommel, they told him, do not do Operation Barbarossa. Stay focused, knock England out, because they always said, if America gets in this war, we're way over here, and our industrial might will overrun us.
Yep.
Hitler wanted to take on Stalin. He always hated Stalin.
He always did, and he lost when he did it. Once he did it, it was over.
No, if Hitler would have listened to Hans Guderian instead of trying to take Stalingrad.
Yeah, I know. I remember.
Name, because remember, people don't know, Kiev, where Ukraine is, was the jewel of the Soviet Union. That's where the oil, that's where the wheat fields at. Hitler and the German high command was trying to get what we call Ukraine today, take that from the Soviet Union. They would have brought the Soviet Union down to the knees. But Hitler wanted Stalingrad, and he trapped the German Third Army in Stalingrad instead of going on to Kiev and taking all of Ukraine.
Yep. Shout out to Guy Kimball. If it wasn't for Russia, we never have went to space. A lot of stuff, people like to talk bad about Russia, but once you do some research on Russia, you'll start figuring out a lot of the thought process of the Russians at that time. A lot of stuff was going on. A lot.
That stuff was Soviet. The
Soviet Union. I know what you're talking about.
The Nazi scientists. Both of us split on the Nazi scientists. Russia, the AK Kalashnikov, the AK-47 is a copy of the German Sturmgewehr rifle.
Yeah, I know that.
The exact same thing. So only thing they did was copy the Germans. And
they went and stole their stuff.
That's why the MiG fighter looked like a Messerschmitt jet fighter. That's why the MiG fighter looked like a Messerschmitt what was it?
AK-47. Actually, I shot that.
I'm talking about the jet fighter. The German jet fighter they had. in World War II, because Germany was the first one to put jet fighters on the battle in the air combat. But that, if you look at the MiG fighters, that's the same as the German jet fighter. They were taking German technology and just putting a machine gun here and there differently and making it look good. We was actually taking their tech, their stuff, and making it our own, making our stuff to where it looked totally different, because we were actually trying to hide it from people. We were actually trying to hide it from the public that we had Nazi scientists over here, because the public would have found out.
It would have been hell.
Yes.
It would have been hell, because it's a moral issue when it all boils down to it. It is a moral issue, because you're going to go and, quote unquote, stop the Germans. You said that you wanted being, how can I say, you're going in there with a moral attitude, and come to find out that the same people that you were going there to try to stop, you're also taking some of them too, because the Nazi scientists, the people who were doing this, it wasn't as if they were a lot of them were held by gunpoint to do it. They actually took pride in the work that they did. You get what I'm saying? So when you have something like that, it lets you know that even if America needed their work, it was still a bad deal. Somebody over there who's making nerve gas, making this and making that, and they're killing all these folks, and you go there with a moral attitude to stop it and say, hey, well, guess what? We can offer you a place here in the U.S. We can change your name and this and that. And when they came to the U.S., they got accolades. They were paid money, stipends to live. I mean, once you hear it, it really breaks your heart. It really does, because you would think that this type of deal would be straight. You would think that America would have some sort of morality in that sense, but there's no morality when it comes down to war. And I think a lot of folks got to understand that there's principles, but when it comes down to morality and war, that's a whole different deal. That's why we have rules and regulations when it comes to rules of engagement in war. You know that, Jamal, right? Rules of engagement.
Convention. I can't shoot you with the 50 cal, but also remember this. How often do we talk about how the Japanese slaughtered the Chinese? That's why the Chinese hate their guts, because the same concentration camps that the Jews were put through in Germany and in the Soviet Union, the Chinese were did by the Japanese. And because we dropped the atomic bomb, and some of us feel bad about it, Tojo was executed, but a lot of the atrocities that the Japanese did in the concentration camps, the Japanese did, we didn't hold them accountable. If we did, we gave them a quick 2 bullets in the back of the head and not talked about it.
Yep. Yeah. Look up rules of engagement. Sam, look up rules of engagement. You'll see what I'm talking about there. Very good comment. Rules of engagement is something that was put out it was put out, I think, by the Geneva Convention.
Yes.
And countries have agreed to it. So, like, if you're one of them is like if you're shooting and you're let's say you're at war and you're shooting and you pass by somebody and they're not dead. Okay, one of the rules of engagement is that they are either captured or they're given help. Back in the day, they just if me and another person were shooting in the woods, and I shot that person, and they didn't die. Back in the day, they would just shoot them in the head and move on. That's how they used to do it. Rules of engagement now is that if I don't kill you in combat and I walk up to you and you're still alive, gosh darn it, there's a medic that needs to come to you.
Yep.
Do you understand? So so your platoon sergeant will tell you better kill because they don't want to be sending medics to help gosh darn wounded victims that you're shooting. You know what I'm talking about, Jamal? Our platoon sergeant, you shoot that kill. You know what I'm saying?
The colonel's like, yeah, make sure you bring in the enemy. Looking at that captain like, you know you better make it sound. Perfect example. You've seen the movie Heartbreak Ridge, starring the kid who played.
Absolutely, I have. That's actually a very good movie.
Okay, starring the kid that played Spider-Man.
Yep.
It's a scene where they're talking to a doctor. He's a doctor. He's a combat medic. And he says, hey, yeah, this guy, he's been bringing soldiers home. He's been bringing guys down all day.
Yep.
Yeah, he made 2 Japanese. Oh, but they didn't make it. He looked dead. He says, oh, yeah, he been bringing soldiers down all night. Yeah, it was 2 Japs. Yeah, he also bring down 2 Japs, but they ain't make it. He let you know, soon as he lowered them down, they slit their throat.
They slit their throats. Yeah, heartbreak. He was running out there bringing victim, folks, soldier after soldier in. Let me tell you.
Yep. But
soldier after, he's a real soldier. Ain't scared out there with the bullets flying, bringing you back.
Dawson never carried a gun. The man's name is Corporal Dawson. He never carried a gun.
Never carried a gun. Beautiful man, let me tell you. Saving lives. Yeah, but you know, that's the way you do it. You know, if other countries will kill you too, you know, they don't follow the Geneva Convention.
That's what pisses American soldiers off so much. You gonna sit there and stab my man with a bayonet, or torture us, and you think we ain't gonna sit there and
please? They don't follow it. They find you in the woods bleeding, you're dead. Let me tell you. Your neck is slit. That's what it is. That is our show, Jamal. I want to go ahead and since we got Rumble running right now, I want to speak about our last clip on Rumble. Can you stay with me for probably 10, 15 minutes?
Rumble Rebels. I'm going to somebody else after party. Rumble Rebels.
So let me go ahead and drop the link here. We're gonna speak about our last clip here. We have a last clip that deals with COVID, and I don't want to put it on YouTube. So what I'm gonna do here for the people who are out there, let me go ahead and drop this clip here. Well, not this clip, but this link. And this link will be here for you guys. Let me drop it for YouTube. So I dropped it on Facebook. I'm gonna drop it on YouTube as well. And what you guys can do is you guys can join us here. All right. We already have some folks there. You can join us while we finish speaking about our last clip, which deals with Omicron and you know, yeah. So that's what it is. I want to thank everybody for coming on in here, hanging out with me and Jamal. Very, very, very beautiful show here. Sorry about the connection earlier. I don't know what was going on, but seems like you know, it fizzled out here and it made it strong. So yeah, come and hang out with us. Dixie George says, I hate Rumble. Sweetheart, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow.
I didn't know that, Mother Dixie. You hated Rumble. I didn't know that, Mother Dixie.
Yeah, she Mother Dixie hate Rumble. She told me that. So that's what it is. So let me go ahead and go to Restream here. All right. We're on Restream here. And
just hit stop.
Folks on Facebook, come and join us here, all right? So we cut Facebook. people on Conservative Nation Raw 4, come and join us. I am now cutting the feed. You guys, hopefully we'll see y'all.
Your admin need to pin the message on YouTube so that way it's still up. So
let me go ahead and
pin the message.
Pin the message here. Let me see here. I think I have I cut it already? Okay, Facebook already cut. I'll pin the message. YouTube.